Welcome back, guys. This is Gen5 Concepts, and real quick I'm going to show you how to do the door light mod on your 5th gen Camaro door to make the light go all the way to the dash instead of stopping 4 inches down. I've already undone a lot of this, so it's going to be completely secured when you take it off in your car. On my test door, just for speed, I've already taken a lot of it out, so don't expect it to be this quick when you do yours, but I'm still going to explain everything to you real thoroughly. First thing you got to do is you got to get to the light pipe back here. There's 3 screws you got to remove. There's one here, one there, and one there. They are Torx. Okay, so you got to use your Torx bit, whether you got a drill or hand tools or whatever. Take your Torx, take your screws out. I've already undone all 3 of these. There's 3 there. 1, 2, 3. Take those 3 screws out. Set them aside. Alright, next thing you got to do is there is a plastic weld right here. You're going to have to cut it. I'm sorry, you may not want to, but you have to. Alright, it's going to look like any of these other welds. All you have to do is get the top layer of plastic off. You're going to need to get you a drill with about a 1/2 inch bit on it. Alright, and when you do this, you just put it on, spin it a bit until that top layer of plastic comes off. Alright, you don't want to drill down into it. Just real slow and steady until the plastic that's holding it comes off. Just take your time, be real careful with it. Once you've done that, once you've got all 3 screws off and you've drilled that plastic, reach under, unsnap it. And the reason you did that one is because you need to unsnap it further. And you can't do that with that plastic on there. Alright, so now you can actually get underneath it. Next, you're going to find these little plastic clips. Notice I've already removed mine. They're going to have Torx bits in them as well. Alright, you want to take the Torx screw out, take the plastic off. Take the Torx screw out, take the plastic off. Set these aside, don't lose them or your screws. You will be putting them back on. Alright, you don't want to break this, but give yourself some space to work. Take your light pipe, pull it back. I like to kind of hook it around something so it stays, but you do not want to break it. It's not really replaceable. And you gotta get under here. I like to give this a little twist so that it'll hold. Now look at there, I got room to work. Keep in mind this is my test door, so there are things here that might not be in your door. Alright, what's stopping your door from lighting up is from this point on, when you take your door off, there is going to be a thin piece of fabric stuck to it. Take the fabric, pull it off, pull the whole thing off, not putting it back, throw it away. You'll notice this is a bit sanded. More so than it needs to be. Like I said, it's a test door. Alright, bear with me. Alright, you'll notice that right here is clear. Right, you're not going to be sanding any of this. You're not going to be actually doing any of this type of work. But you see how this line right here, let me get something to point with. This here, see how it's painted? Your door is going to be painted all the way down and stop right there, right about where the fabric ends. You have to get this one little 1/4 inch worth of paint off from here to there. That's all that has to come off. Alright, I like to use a wire wheel on a Dremel. You can actually scrape it off with a screwdriver if you want. As long as the paint comes off, it does not have to be perfectly smooth. It just has to come off. The best way to test this, whether you did a good job or not, is after you think you've gotten the paint off of this little crease, and it just has to be this little crease, take your door, flip it over, take your cell phone and turn the flashlight on. Or if you got a flashlight on there, that works too. Shine the light through the back of it. See if you can see the light on the front side. That's what you're looking for. All you need is the transparency. It's just got to shine light through. If you see a dark spot, flip it back over and start scraping again to get that paint off. If you really want to make this smooth, you can edge it with a fine sandpaper and maybe put some clear acrylic over it. That'll glass it over real well. But believe me when I say it does not have to be completely clear. It just has to pass light. It's just ambient light. So pull your fabric off, scrape the paint off this line only, and only up to this corner here. All right, like I said, it's about 4 inches worth. Scrape that paint off of this little crease. That's all it is. Notice that crease goes all the way down. That's what the light pipe sits on. And once you sanded all that paint off, or scraped it, or whatever you had to do, take your light pipe, put it back on. Take your new Gen 5 harness that you just assembled and snap it back on the back side here, just like so. Take your little clips, put them back on. One there, one there. Two's all you really got to take off. Put the screws back in them. Test door, like I said. Take this piece, snap it back together, put your 3 screws in, 1, 2, 3. Don't worry about that. It ain't gonna hurt anything. It's plastic welded the whole rest of the way down. If this really bothers you, get you a small washer and a very short screw. And there's a cylinder in there you can still screw and secure it back down if it really bothers you. Just don't make it very long or you'll pop out the other side of the door. Short screw, but it don't need it. All right, it's really secure on here. I wouldn't worry about it. And that's it. Once you've done that, you snap the harness on here, and you snap the other end of the harness onto this side back here. You're done. Put the door back on the car. Don't forget to plug the harness back into the door harness so it'll actually illuminate. And you're done. You're all finished. Any questions? Feel free to ask.